Ladies and gentlemen, Cleopatra is coming out May 10th on Netflix, and it's being heavily protested, and that's the reason why I will be tuning in. Some of y'all might remember the BBC did a show on Cleopatra, and they were able to determine that because France had the remains of her half sister, and her mother was known to be African. When they tested the remains, they almost looked like they were about to cry that her sister came back with having African origins. They looked like they were going to cry. So it was written about the days after the BBC showed this report, and the scientists were really surprised that she had an African mother, and Cleopatra's sister, Arsinoe was her name. She, it came back that she definitely had African origins. So it's funny how they're having a fit and falling apart over a black woman being chosen to play Cleopatra. And y'all remember it said that the Hebrews, the real ones, and the Egyptians look so much alike you could hardly tell them apart. And we already see what they look like on the Egyptian wall. They don't look that they don't look European, but they are still on this mess, y'all. They are still on this mess. And it's hilarious. Egypt is in Africa. And they're even trying to make you think that Egypt is something altogether different. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Yeah, it's almost unheard of that a black woman would be in Africa. And remember, during the times of Cleopatra, a lot of Nubians were living there. They were there. Okay, that's why you see them on the Egyptian wall. Those people don't look like them folks. They don't look like them at all. So let's get into this story. Netflix is putting out Cleopatra, and I'm going to watch it. And y'all, they're doing Queen Charlotte, who was biracial, and she sat on the throne over in England. And that's also coming out in May. So I'm watching both of those on Netflix. So Egypt's Antiquities Ministry says Cleopatra was white skinned. They're saying this because a black woman was chosen to play the part. And imagine that, a black woman in Africa. That's really shocking, isn't it? And no, Egypt is not something else. Egypt is in Africa. It's in Africa. And y'all can keep sitting there. Northern. There are a lot of black people that live in Northern Africa too. Lots of dark people live there too. You know, one thing I know about y'all play the propaganda game. Y'all play that heavily. It's just like when you go to the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, there's more dark people there, but you only show these light color Arabs. You play the game of propaganda. That's why you will never show the dark people that live in these northern African lands. You won't show it. You want everybody to psychologically think they are the invaders, which are the lighter complected ones, the invaders, the colonizers. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're still with this. She had white skin as if they were back there, back then when she was alive. So, in the documentary, which is being narrated by Jada Pinkett Smith. Cleopatra is portrayed by Adele James, who is biracial. Her casting has sparked debate in Egypt due to the contested nature that the real Cleopatra's racial identity, was black. And there's a lot of people that believe that. And, just like they're not going to change your mind, you're not going to change theirs. So, ever since the trailer was released online, petitions accusing the production of rewriting history has been signed by over 7,000 people. But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, 7,000 people with the millions that watch Netflix is really not that much. Okay. That's not that many. Okay. It just isn't. So, many of them are having a fit by using false articles and zero evidence and still attempting to falsify the history. So, ladies and gentlemen, Cleopatra was born in Africa. She was born in Alexandria, Egypt. Okay. And they're saying, although she was born there, she was not black. Again, they're talking as if they lived in those times and they actually saw her. So there is no way, um, this is in no way against black people. Yeah, yeah, it's hard to believe that there would be a black woman in Egypt. There were lots of them in Egypt. Just look at the Egyptian wall. There were probably millions of them there. So on April 27th, the Antiquities Ministry of Egypt weighed in on the issue, saying Cleopatra had white skin, and Hellenistic characteristics. Again, y'all talk like you laid eyes upon her. That, everything you're saying is not very convincing. When you look at the mummies, those mummies all are jet black. That's what they are. That's what they are. But looking at those jet black mummies, those mummified bodies, you're telling me you can detect white skin? I definitely don't believe you. I've seen those mummies. In fact, they were at the Museum of Natural History over in the city of Philadelphia when I was a child. They had three of them, and all three of them, because they had been in those sarcophagus so long, they were all jet black. All of them. But you're going to tell me those Egyptians that were laying there in the sarcophagus with those jet black dried skin, those were really white people. What? So she was born in Egypt, the city of Alexandria, at 69 BC, succeeding her father Ptolemy. All right, so he ruled 51 BC until his death, 30 BC. The identity of the mother, now they determined the mother was definitely African. So the identity of Cleopatra's mother, they're trying to claim is unknown, but they said she had an African mother. When you look at that article I just showed you, you know how they're going to do. They, when it don't come out in their favor, they just going to come here and say, "I don't believe that article." I don't believe that article. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But y'all, if you get a chance, go over, and it probably is still online, the BBC documentary that they did on Cleopatra. Because I remember that next day, oh, these people were upset. Oh, they were upset that they said the sister definitely had African origins. They were just falling apart that Cleopatra's sister was probably black. So, anyway, the identity of her mother they're claiming is unknown, but they sure didn't say it was unknown Back in 2009, 2010, 2011, it wasn't unknown then, but now it's unknown, y'all. Leading historians to suggest that she may have been Egyptian or from another part of Africa. Okay, is she from another part of Africa where they're white? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So, anyway, others, though, have suggested that her mother may have been Greek. Okay, well, where's the proof? That's one thing I notice about these folks. They will say a lot of things and they will show you not one shred of proof. They think they don't have to show you any. You should just believe them. Well, good luck with that. That's all I got to say. Good luck with that. But the body of her sister was actually tested by scientists. And that's what they came. Now, these people telling you she's white, they don't have that. They don't have anything scientific from a relative of hers that says she was white, but they're going to tell you she's white, though. I'm just saying. So, why shouldn't Cleopatra be a melanated sister? And why do some people need Cleopatra to be white? Let me tell you why. These folks want to attach themselves to everything important that happened in the world, even though they were not there. By the time they showed up on the earth, Egypt was already ancient. All right. So that's what they do. That's why when you open up the Bible, their pictures, these little drawings of them are all in the Bible because they're trying to attach themselves to anything of importance in the world and claim it was them. This is why you should never trust history from these folks because they have showed time and time again they will attach themselves to things that have zero to do with them. They will attach themselves to things they had nothing to do with. This is why you should never ever trust any history from them. Ever. You should never trust it. All they're going to do is tell you, oh, these people were white, those people were white, but they're never going to show you any proof. That's one thing historically they have done all this time. They will tell you people in history were white and they will show you zero proof that they were white. And they're going to do that again in this situation. So it will be airing. Anybody that's interested, I'm definitely going to watch it. It will be airing on May 10th. And I'm definitely going to be part of that audience on May 10th. I can't wait for it to come out and watch it. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. I think Queen Charlotte may be coming out before Cleopatra, but I'm going to have to go and look because I think it comes out like the very first, somewhere like around the 5th. I know it's coming out early in May, just like Cleopatra is. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.